Hello, everyone, and welcome back. I need to just record that sound and stop doing this.
I thought you hit start after you popped it. I'm
did.
pretty sure you did.
You did.
Okay, what's your point?
Didn't you want that noise?
Yeah, it's recording on there. This doesn't matter. This is just to know how long we're going. That's all this timer is. This does not.
You've done this before, right?
Yeah, I just thought that I wasn't.
Pay no attention to the timer. It doesn't matter at all.
No, I was thinking that was like.
It's just an idea for me. No, it's just an idea for me to know how long we're going. I need to record the soda pop so I can just stop.
Yeah, because some of them are better than others.
Well, they're all so different. I need to just record one that's good.
That was a
and
good
just
one.
Keep it. That was a good one. Doesn't work with the glass bottle.
You need the ASMR microphone. You'd really get it good with that little fluff ball thing.
But I don't want it. I don't want that shit. I've heard people open cans in commercials, and I don't care for it.
I just want that microphone because it looks like so much fun.
That's the one they clip. Like.
Yeah, but it's like fluffy.
It's the one they always hold. It's like a
and you can like
cotton ball.
You can like brush it, and you can hear it goes like.
I mean, I am in love with the like little tiny microphones that people have on TikTok.
Yeah,
I love those, and I love that.
You can get one with the fluff ball on.
You would never do it, and we don't have the setup for more than one microphone, so it doesn't matter at this point in time. I'm involved in the idea of like you're in a more relaxed seating arrangement, and you're just holding your microphone.
Oh no, I couldn't hold it.
And it's mics like these.
No, because what would happen is I would.
Or you're holding like an actual like legit microphone.
Or why can't you just have like the long mic stand?
Well, there's that too. But we don't have like this. The setup is our dining room table.
No, because it works better on like a couch.
Ideally, we would eventually get money from this that I can set up like a fixture that I don't have to take this shit up and down all the time. And
where?
I don't know. Somewhere.
Outside.
Ideally, if I'm making enough money to do that, we have money to get out of this shithole.
We could just get one of those igloos out back. That's what I really want.
But welcome back to the show. Happy New Year, everybody. This is our first official show of 2025.
Whoa.
It's a big deal.
Honored.
You should feel very honored.
You should. We are joined for the first time visually. I'm understanding.
Yeah, you.
Unfortunately.
Our friend Dana is here.
He's outnumbered.
I don't remember what episode you were on before.
The one that you forgot to record the first 14 minutes.
Yeah, I did. I don't recall that.
I forget what it was. We were talking about, I think, TV shows or...
I don't remember. I'd have to go back and look. It's been so long since we've had a guest.
Oh, you don't have guests on.
Well, we try, but So the big joke is that the show is called The Friends You Can Keep. We are both hosts, but I am the main host. And
I'm the only friend.
Yeah, I don't have friends. That's the big joke, because it's the friends you can keep, and I don't have friends.
It's just me.
Because you're married.
Yeah.
Well, we had a whole
I'm stuck here.
Well, we had
Send help.
We had a whole conversation about
Blink twice.
When I got back from Texas. We had a whole conversation about like the cringiness of married couples that are like, they're my best friend. And I said that Christina P, her whole thing is like, no, your best friend is not your partner. Your best friend is the person you complain to your partner about. And I question, well, how does that work? Because I don't have that. So
who is it?
And it's frowned upon to call your therapist your best friend, and I don't have one currently.
Well, I think that's...
Because the therapist I had left.
I think that's... You're reading so much into that, you need to get over it.
I'm not reading into it. No, I'm not. I don't read into it. It just pisses me off that I was in therapy, and the whole point of our therapy sessions is like, I don't know what the issue is, because it's not abandonment issues. I don't know what the issue is, but like, I want to have more active friends. Like, I would tell her the fact of like, it's 2024, and I have friends that can't respond to a text message. Mm-hmm. Like, I just don't. It boggles my mind of how like my relationship with people was so rocky, and then there was no warning of like, I'm not going to be on this platform in a month. It was just all of a sudden like, oh, you shouldn't.
She might not have known it either.
She knew.
I don't know how those doctors get on there.
I don't either, and I really prefer an in-person therapist, but they're so hard to find that I don't want to pay for it.
You wouldn't have to pay for it.
Yes, you would. I've looked on Cigna's thing. Talkspace is 100% free.
You'd get
The one that sponsors everybody is not 100% free. And then if you do in person, you have to do whatever copay.
I think through Talkspace you can get in person too, though.
No, you can just do like the Zoom things.
Oh, I thought you could. It wasn't like
And I didn't
but
care for the Zoom things because I've said it before on here. I don't care for it because this is our house. Our house is what it is, and I don't have any other space to go to, and I don't want to do it in my car. But like,
I think a lot of people that's where they do it.
well, that's where I'm probably going to start doing it because it's one of those things of like, not that I'm just aggressively talking shit on my wife and my kids, and
That's all
like
he's doing.
whatever it is. But like the fact that I'm in the basement on my on my iPad and you're one floor above me, it's very like in my head of like, well, if I say anything about her, she's definitely going to hear me. But anyways, this episode we're going to do some Am I the Asshole stories. What?
They're the worst.
Are they?
I feel like I always have it wrong. Like,
What's your opinion?
no, but usually there's like a very
Clear.
But and there's just like a detail that I missed.
I
where
have
I'm like,
two here that they're not Am I the Asshole ones.
Are they holiday?
No.
Oh, I didn't know if that
It's
was.
January where we're done with that.
Well, I didn't know if that was. Because I'm sure holiday Reddits are still going.
There was a
Going
couple, but they
strong.
weren't good. I might have one that was a holiday related one, but a lot of them were just stupid. I'm guessing you don't listen to the show.
It's okay. You don't have to.
Can't say it.
You don't have to say that you do
I didn't
because
even know the title of it. So.
that hurts. Because there's like a handful of people I know that we know. I know Brad and Justine listen to it. Well, I know at least Justine does. I don't know if Brad does. I'm assuming he does. And I know Julie listens to it. And Alex. Because they actually will. And to your point, Julie and Alex watch it on YouTube.
Ew.
Ew.
Stop that.
Knock it off.
Just listen to it.
Because after whatever episode went up, Alex texted me and asked me what the name of the YouTube channel was. To watch it on YouTube.
Oh.
So, people watch it on YouTube. Because you need to have your podcast on YouTube in 2025.
You know what I don't do? Listen to podcasts on YouTube.
You know what you
Me
don't
either.
do? Listen to good podcasts.
Yeah, I do. Tons
you
of
don't.
them.
Do that.
2020 Dateline. That's
Just
pretty much
watch
it.
You're not going to
Dateline.
win this argument.
Just
That's
watch
pretty
Dateline.
much it. I don't have time. And I can't hide it.
They would be good. Well, my critique for her
'Cause,
podcast
like, I can't have it
is-
on during the
my
day.
critique for her podcast is
Because
I listen
like,
to.
when the kids are home.
My critique for her podcast is I listen to comedians, and she will come in the room and catch like 30 seconds of it, and then immediately be like, "I can't stand this person's voice. This is the most
Some
unbearable
people
thing I've
do
ever
not
heard in my
have good
life."
voices for
I
podcasts.
walked into her office. I walked into the bedroom where her desk is, and I don't know what podcast she had on, and I'm like, this woman's voice
I
is
think
the
it's Bailey
most
Sarian.
unbearable thing, and what she was talking about made it worse. And it was like her ad read. She wasn't even doing anything about murder. I'm like, this is the
Yeah.
most unbearable shit I've ever heard in my life.
I don't know if I'm familiar.
She's a weird one. She does Murder, Mystery, and Make That Monday. That's a YouTube vid. Like, that's not.
What we're definitely going to do coming up, speaking of Dateline, we're going to do an episode of this show. You've probably already listened to it, and you've probably already seen it or
I
listened
did
to
not
it.
listen to it.
But I want to watch it really bad. Is that, what's the guy's name?
I forget. Where it's like that guy who's
I'll
like
show ya.
mistaken identity.
I've got him in here, I think, on the ticket.
And he's talking with like a
Where are
mask
you?
on his face. It's an old one, but like clips
This
of it are
guy.
resurfacing. I did not listen to it because I don't
Nicholas
even know.
Oliveri.
To someone who believes that you are Nicholas Oliveri.
I am not Andrea. I am not Nicholas Oliveri, and I do not
No.
But when
It's like a very new episode, and I really want to watch
Say
it.
these are crocodile tears.
It's new?
He's putting
Yeah.
on the show. This is all
When you go on
facts.
Peacock, it's like the top episode on
Oh,
Dateline.
I thought this was like an old
No, it's new.
one that okay, get that guy out of here. His voice is
But
annoying.
wait, she has to see the best part.
I didn't believe that.
You should have. I don't know that I could watch a whole episode though.
What's the most important thing today that you want people to know? Both of you.
We were once a normal family, but thanks to the media, our lives have been interrupted. And we like back to being a normal husband. But I can't, because I can't breathe, I can't walk. People say that's wrong. Let me try to stand up. Let me try to stand up. Exactly. This is what people do to me.
I could definitely not watch.
Interest in that.
I could not watch a whole hour. Of
We're
that
gonna
guy.
watch the whole episode. That's what I was getting to. We're gonna do
Please
a
don't
watch
in-
along.
Yeah, please don't invite me.
You definitely have to be here for it.
I don't think I can get through it.
So the whole point is like that guy was accused of like rape and murder.
Can
Yeah.
we be on the weed gummies when we do
Yeah.
that?
Sure.
For sure.
He like
I'm gonna
this
need
guy. So the accusation I think is like this guy fakes his death.
Okay.
And now this is a different person, but they look identical. Like it's a whole thing, and he's like, "It's not me. It's not me."
I don't
What I
understand
pointed out
how-
in this clip that I didn't notice the first time I watched it, I think it was like the second time I said it to you. When he stands up, did you notice that his wife, I think is who that is, like pushes him down?
Oh no, I saw like
Her hand is right there.
She looks as if she's helping him, but her hand is like in his jacket, and if you watch, she like pushes him to the chair. To show, like, he can't stand up. But I just laugh at that every time because she covers her mouth and stuff.
Can't they just like
And
DNA
then he
test
says,
him?
like, you're laughing now. Of course they can, and they probably did. But that's Maury. We're talking about Dateline here. Dateline's got to drag it out. You need the Keith Morrison.
Yeah, but like if we're just gonna
dramatic-
find out at the end that
dramatic
like they
reads.
DNA tested him and it's him, I do not want to watch that whole episode. Just give me that information right at the front.
Pesky DNA. I have two here that are from TikTok. These are not like Am I the Assholes, but I wanted to get your reaction specifically to one of them to see did it line up with my thoughts and the comments' thoughts. But we'll do that 1 second. These are weird, like I don't know what they are. You swipe through them
Yeah, I don't know what that is either. I keep seeing
and
them.
it's Pepe the Prawn. I don't know. So this one is, at one point my partner and I lived with his parents and they had a weekly pizza night. I'm pretty sure this ends like abruptly, if I remember correctly. On a particular week, one of us chose Pizza Hut. This was a mistake.
Oh.
So we
Pizza Hut's never a mistake.
So we eat our dinner and everything is fine. I'm a little queasy, but hey, no big deal. I'll just sleep it off. 3 a.m. rolls around. I wake up drenched in sweat. I feel like my abdomen is going to explode. I feel like I'm about to be sicker than I've ever been in my life. I hop up, running out of bed to our connecting bathroom. It's fine. I'm safe. I made it to the toilet. Right? Wrong. I wish I could read this without laughing. Because wrong is written in all caps. I sit down and I am taking...
What is this?
I sit down and I am taking the most horrendous dump that I've ever taken in my life. Seconds later, I start vomiting. Straight up out of the Exorcist projectile. I start to feel incredibly lightheaded. I'm pouring sweat at this point. I also don't know if this is real or not.
It's definitely not.
I think to myself, this is it. This is how I die. I'm going to die covered in my own bodily fluids in a room that's also covered. So I stand up, convinced that these are my last 10 minutes of life. I needed to make it to my partner. I needed to tell him that I loved him before I died. I immediately fall over. My legs work less than they normally do. I army crawl, still covered in liquids, desperate to say my last goodbyes.
Is this person having like...
I make it to the bed, and it's high up. My partner is a heavy sleeper. I smack upwards in his direction a couple of times. He wakes up. I say, I'm dying, and I needed you to know that I love you. He stands up, ready to help. This man is still half asleep. He does not have a working nose, and it is dark. He does not know the horrors in the next room. He shines a phone light. There is a trail. I am whiter than I already am. Translucent. I look like literal death has come to take me away. He tries to help me to my feet. I am too weak, for I am dying. I tell him so. He goes to the bathroom, and I am fading out of consciousness. I am seeing the light. It is important to note that I am still shitting. I have been this whole time.
This is not real.
He's panicking. He calls out for his parents, and his mom tells him that it can't be that bad. Why do I need to go to the hospital? She peers into the room. I am naked and covered in fluids. The bathroom looks like a bomb went off. She asks no further questions. My partner helps me get dressed. We walk across the house and through the garage. I am
No. Why are you falling for this?
I don't know. It's just funny. We make it to the
Wishing
car.
it was true.
We make it to the car.
No woman is putting this on the internet.
Well, you can't see her picture. It's just Pepe the Prawn.
Yeah, but like she already.
And then the caption.
Unless it's a gay couple.
The caption is the time I out Pizza the Hut. That's incredible. I didn't see that before. Oh god, stop distracting me. We make it to the car. I have a towel under me, and it does not matter. For the ride over, I kept apologizing. All the windows were down, and that didn't matter either. We make it to the hospital.
How many scrolls?
They gave me meds to stop shitting myself and some anti-nausea to stop puking. They gave me IV fluids because of the dehydration. The doctors want me to get a CAT scan. It doesn't tell us anything about my stomach, but they did find something during the scan. The doctor walks in. Did you know you have a hip tumor? I did not. That's the last slide.
That was a lot.
Hip tumor?
A hip tumor.
Is that even possible?
You can have a tumor anywhere.
I guess.
But the hips like all bone.
Yeah.
So this is the one that I needed to
What
get.
was the point of that one?
I don't know. It was just funny.
Oh, I thought.
I'm disappointed you didn't laugh as much as I did.
They took it
Because
too far.
that whole thing is your lane of comedy.
But yeah, but it was too far.
To see written, like, they helped me up, and I walked to the car, and then you swipe to the next thing, and it's just zoomed in Pepe the Prawn, and it just says, I am still shitting. That's 100% your lane of comedy. No, it's not.
Clearly, it's your lane of comedy.
It was just the way.
It was
too long-winded.
I'm entertained. You have to look at it.
Well, you didn't.
I was trying to read it in the context because what made me laugh so hard, I think, was that because it's like normal sentence. That all of a sudden it's just one side that just says I am still shitting.
Were the comments like this is not real?
I thought my delivery would have carried it, but I guess not.
It was just
a lot of hurtful things happening in this episode of the show. The fact that you left the toilet mid-shitting to say goodbye lets me know you actually thought you were going to die. This did not feel like 35 slides. Pizza Hut almost killed you and simultaneously saved your life. It's important to note that I'm still shitting. I'm cackling. I am too weak, for I am dying. At no point was I prepared for the next slide. So are we suing Pizza Hut or are we blaming the hip tumor? Because you need some sort of compensation for all that trauma.
But why are you leaving? Just stay in there.
Nothing, and I mean nothing and no force on this planet would have made me exit that bathroom.
Yeah.
To which they replied, but you don't understand. I had to tell him that I loved him.
No, you don't.
I was dying of laughter until we got to the tumor. Nah, you can still laugh.
Know.
It's been removed.
Yeah, it's too late.
This one just says why, period, would, period, you, period, leave, period, the, period, toilet, period.
Yeah.
I was certain that I was dying and I needed to say my last goodbyes.
Just yell out for help.
Send a text.
So anyways, this is the one I needed. So hold your... For this one, we will... Let's hold our reactions to the end.
No,
This is not as hilarious as the last one. Well, just equally as wild though. But it's not like I'm shitting myself. It's not any of that. This one I need.
Maybe I've already seen it.
Probably not.
Oh.
Your TikTok is a mess.
Probably.
My face when I was in. So this is all Pepe the Prawn. This picture.
Yes.
This picture. Just so we're clear on what my face is, because I'm pretty sure it says that a lot. My face when I was in labor, and the midwife I paid $3,000 to deliver my unborn offspring said she can't do it anymore. I watched in fear as she took down the fairy lights and inflatable pool where my child was supposed to be born. She told me she wasn't going to come to the hospital with me, and I wasn't going to get a refund. My fiancé and I then planned to deliver the baby ourselves in our bathtub and call 911 if anything. It just says if anything. I was in our bathtub, and as I felt the pressure of an 18-wheeler splitting me in half, so we drove to the nearest hospital. We made it to the hospital, and I'm screaming for pain medication, and the doctor tells me they don't deliver babies there. I have to go to another hospital. The doctor starts poking me with a prong, and I scream, "Don't touch me," since I was already in unbearable pain, and they can't deliver my child anyways. She proceeds to poke me, and my fiancé slaps the prong out of her hand. Everyone in the room goes silent. The ambulance is here to take me to the next hospital, but deny my fiancé and mother-in-law entry onto the ambulance. I'm on the ambulance alone, in and out of consciousness from the pain, trying to call my fiancé to make sure he's following us. I get to the second hospital, and the nurses start to undress me, asking me a million questions. They tell me I'm 10 centimeters dilated and the baby is ready to see the light, but I ask where my fiancé is. The nurses tell me he is not allowed into the hospital because he assaulted a doctor and is probably already on his way to jail. I call my mother-in-law, and she tells me they're not allowing her up either, that she will pray for me, and we will stay on the phone while I give birth. I can hear my fiance arguing with the police in the background, and they say he's not getting arrested, but he's not allowed at this particular hospital since they are related to the first one. I tell the nurses to let me go, that I was not giving birth without the father of my child present. I was scared I would pass out and would be at their complete mercy. They let me sign myself out, and as they wheel me down, she's telling me I'm a horrible mother for putting my fiance before my child. I walk out to cold, crisp air and see my fiance surrounded by police. I scream, "Let's go, take me to the next hospital." Him in utter shock to see me even walking in the state I was in. He's driving 100 plus miles an hour to the next hospital as I literally prepare myself to give birth in the backseat of our car. We made it to the third hospital and had the best delivery doctor, and my fiance held my hand through the delivery. We were both so traumatized and sleep deprived, we just wanted to sleep after she was born. Our faces when the nurses and doctors were coming in every 30 minutes doing tests on me and baby, not allowing us to get rest. After I was pleading to the nurse all morning to let us sleep for at least 2 hours, my fiance had enough and demanded for them to let us sleep. Word had got to this hospital about the incident at the first hospital, and the demand was taken as a threat. They called the police and CPS. We were separated into different rooms for interrogation. They checked my body for bruises against my will. I just wanted to have a fairy twinkle light birth in an inflatable pool, as the last slide.
She deserves to have CPS called on her.
So,
your plan was to have your baby in your own bathtub and then call 911? And then you go to a hospital and then the doctor tries to help you and your husband slaps them. And then when they won't let him back in, instead of having your fucking baby like an adult, you want to stay with your husband? You're an idiot.
So the comments, BRB, I need to talk to the midwife and both hospitals.
No.
Algorithm, please show us the midwife video. When the midwife packed up, and then it's new with like the star emojis around it. Wanting to know why the midwife quit. Y'all sound like lovely, calm people with a well thought out plan.
Yeah, so I think the midwife, your husband probably slapped her too.
How dare they check on you and your baby, especially after a stressful birth?
In
the club, we're all checked every 30 minutes to prevent life.
So was that first comment saying like they want to talk because they want to know what really happened?
The first comment is echoing what many of the comments, and that's why the algorithm, please show us the midwife video. When the midwife packed up, I knew.
Yeah.
A lot of the comments are echoing like,
why'd she leave?
Will you come in with like, the first slide is just your midwife packed up and left. Why?
Yeah.
Your midwife packed up and left.
Your husband probably slapped her.
Your midwife packed up and left is the slide you open with. Then you continue to tell us that your fiance slapped a nurse and then went to your third hospital, yells at the nurses.
I don't think they would let you leave.
They would.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think once you're in labor and delivery, though, like, you can check yourself out, like, of other hospitals.
I've had 3 home births and 2 hospital births. I can't imagine what it would take for a midwife to pack up her stuff and leave a laboring mom. But I'm betting she didn't feel safe.
Because
the midwife knew and packed her fairy lights. Can't imagine why midwife fired y'all. Y'all sound great.
Because, like, wouldn't that be... She would be putting herself at risk to be
No,
sued.
please. I was just overdue and 36 hours into labor. She said it was no longer safe to do it at home. She likes if I promise.
Yeah, so the midwife is probably like, you got to go to the hospital now. Like, there's nothing more we can do.
Right.
Because they also, like...
So everyone's assuming
they know
you
that
two are garbage and your husband is an asshole and possibly abusive.
But, like, what is she doing? And what are you going to do to that baby?
I don't know.
When you're like, how dare you? Stop coming in to check on us. Then you should have just stayed home in your bathtub. What did you think was going to happen? Also, 10 centimeters, you're not getting an epidural, so joke's on you. You had a natural birth in a hospital. Some people are just dumb.
They are wild.
So let's see what we got here.
I bet you somewhere... that midwife probably can't respond. It's also probably not true.
Yeah. Or, like, very one-sided.
Yeah.
Not the full story.
No, definitely not. Although they left in a lot of details that you think you would leave out. That, like, your husband did, in fact, slap a nurse.
So here we go. We'll segue into this with the first Am I the Asshole story. Am I the asshole for not staying with my wife after her C-section? My wife was admitted to hospital for an induction.
Ooh, they might be European.
They are. My wife was admitted to hospital for an induction of our second child. She had a rough time during her first pregnancy, as it was during lockdown, and then parentheses it says UK. I was not allowed to stay during this time, so she asked that I stay each night with her during this pregnancy. Should I have read it in a British accent?
No.
Rude.
It would just be distracting.
She gets quite anxious and wanted me there for support during the night, as she didn't feel comfortable asking the night staff. We came to the hospital 2 a.m. on Sunday morning, where she was put on a ward and started on hormones. The labor wasn't progressing very quickly, so she told me to go home around 9 a.m. and she'd need me when the baby came. I came back in the evening and she told me to go home and rest around midnight. I came up early Monday morning and spent the day with her and went home around 5 to spend time with our daughter, staying with my parents. In parentheses. I got a call at 1 a.m. Tuesday from her. She thought she was in labor but didn't think the staff were taking her seriously. I'm going to turn the brightness up a little bit. I rushed up to the ward. Baby was born 3 hours later via an emergency C-section. We were moved around a fair bit until we were settled in a ward around 4 p.m. on Tuesday, both extremely tired, her obviously much more. But we managed...
At least you pointed that
But we
out.
managed a few hours as they had a little sofa I could lay down on. I got up throughout the night to help with baby so she could rest. Wednesday we had a nap during the day, but I stayed all day. This is where the question arose. The baby was noted to have a health problem and so has been taken for further tests. I took the baby as my wife had trouble walking during the pregnancy due to pelvic pain. This has continued, and so she is in a lot of pain quite often, combined with the surgery. They needed to move us to another ward to observe the baby, but this ward does not have a pull-out bed for partners. I have lower back pain, so I've carried a cushion around to alleviate it while she's been in hospital. It doesn't do much, but it means I can sit in the chairs for a bit rather than needing to lie down. I've told my wife is what he put here. I've told my wife that I couldn't stay as I wouldn't be able to sit in the chair all night with no sleep. She expected me to stay the night and continue to help her out during the day. I feel really bad about it, but I wouldn't be able to sleep at all, and sitting in the chair would just further screw up my back. Then I'd be of no use the next day, without sleep and with back pain. I set everything up for my wife to make it easier for her during the night. I spoke to the staff and told them how anxious she is and that she'd need extra help, and told my wife to ask for help when she needed it. I left at 12 a.m. and came back when the doors opened next morning. I've been taking over during the day and letting her rest when she wants to. My argument is that I can't physically stay awake all night and all day. Although I'd agree to stay all night with her before... I'd agreed to stay all night with her before admission. I thought I'd at least be able to lie down. Am I the asshole?
I don't know.
It's complicated.
Because doesn't he also want to go home because they have another kid?
Well, the kids with the
Parents.
Yeah, but like, how long have you been there? Because I'm assuming this is like a NICU situation.
Yeah.
And traditionally, you don't stay. I guess you can be there around the clock. But I think you do it in like shifts. You know, so like, if you have a baby in the NICU, would, like, somebody would be there during
But it didn't sound like she was discharged yet herself because of the surgery, because of the C-section.
and the pelvic pain.
Well, then she wouldn't be with the baby at all. If the baby was moved, she had to have been moved. Unless it's like
I don't know how it works in the UK.
bigger
'Cause they said
maternity.
they moved
Because
to
Just
this
a
one,
different ward.
this one comment.
Is there like a special hospital?
This
to
one
deliver
reply
the
says,
baby?
actually, they're in the UK, so I suspect there were very few nursing and doctor staff she could call for assistance, to be honest. Still, not the asshole. But I really don't think many people outside the UK grasp how dire the medical care is here. Particularly birth-related care.
Yeah, I don't know if he's an asshole, but I don't know.
But, like, you just had a baby. Of course you're going to be uncomfortable.
I agree
Well,
with...
like, she's clearly
Also,
uncomfortable.
she can't lay down then either, and she just had a baby.
So the verdict
you
from
have
a lot...
back pain.
The verdict from a
dickhead.
lot of...
Yeah, a little of that, yeah.
The verdict...
You're probably in your 30s and you're complaining of lower back pain. Okay, just go see a chiropractor and fuck off.
The verdict from a lot of the comments seemed like not the asshole, but I do... That is part of my
But he's
thought.
not trying to be an asshole.
Part of my
That's
thought
the
is
thing.
like... Is exactly what you just said.
Yeah.
Of like, oh, my back hurts.
Right.
She just pushed
I can't sit in these
human
chairs,
out
and there's
or-
no pull out. First of all, I have back problems. Not like legit. I need medicine and all that kind of shit. But I do have back pain quite often that I need to like crack it and do all kinds of shit with it. You know what doesn't help? Sleeping on a pull out bed.
Yeah.
Right, like, would it
So
really
for your
make-
argument to be like, oh well, there's no pull out sofa here, so I
Wouldn't
have
been
to
good
go.
either, yeah.
Like, well, there was a pull out sofa in the other room, and if you have that bad of a back that you can't sit down.
Well, it seems like he's saying he needs to lay down, like, even during
Also,
the day.
bro, you have a cyst near your tailbone. You can't fucking sit for that long. So you have to lie down. Get out of here.
Bring an air mattress.
Bring a sleeping bag.
But, I mean, like, obviously, if she hasn't been discharged, like, she can't go home anyway,
Yeah.
so. But she may have a bed if she's still in the
Why
hospital.
couldn't he? How big are the beds? Could he have fit
Probably
in
was
the bed?
really small.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
I don't think they're wide enough for two people.
Let's do a funnier one here. I didn't read this whole one. I've, 29-year-old male, been with my girlfriend, 28-year-old female, for the past 8 months, and it has been amazing. Oh, sorry, I should have read the headline first. Am I the asshole for telling my girlfriend that her friend is too ugly for my friend?
Oh.
I
I'm
just think yes.
29-year-old male, been with my girlfriend, 28-year-old
Depends on
female,
how you worded that.
for the past 8 months, and it has been amazing. I've met her friends, and I really like them all. And she's met my friends, and they all got along great. We are all hanging out together for the first time this weekend. The issue is that my girlfriend has told one of her friends, let's call her Sue, that she thinks she would be perfect for one of my friends. Let's call him Mike.
Okay.
She has told her this multiple times, shown her pictures of him, and gotten her all excited.
Oh, no.
My problem with this is that I don't think they are a good match at all. Mike is a very good-looking guy, in great shape, is 6'2", and is a lawyer.
Ooh.
He has always dated very conventionally attractive women. Sue is great.
Okay.
Sue is great, and I really like her, but she is just not very conventionally attractive. She is overweight and just doesn't put much effort into her appearance in general. My girlfriend has mentioned this potential match to me a few times, and I've always just kind of brushed it off with a, we'll see.
Like, why does your
Or-
girlfriend think this is a good match?
Or
Doesn't
you
she
never
see
know,
it?
hoping it would just fizzle out. But after we made plans to all hang out, and after I found out she has been telling Sue about it, I felt like I had to say something to her. I didn't want Sue to get her feelings hurt, and I didn't want to put Mike in an awkward situation. I told my girlfriend I think she should not try to set them up together, and to just leave it alone. And if something happens between them, great, but not to push it. When she asked why, I said I just don't think they are a comparable match, looks-wise, and that I think Sue would get her feelings hurt. I said I don't think they're a great match personality-wise either, since he is super attractive and she is much more of a
It's not a
homebody.
person.
No, that's his attractive is not his personality.
This caused a big fight, our first real fight, where she accused me of thinking my friends were better than her friends, asking who else I thought was ugly, etc. I was genuinely just trying to avoid an awkward situation, but I might have made it worse. Should I have
Yeah.
just kept my mouth shut and let it
Yes.
happen?
No, no, because your girlfriend shouldn't have been trying to set your friend up without, like, getting a little feeler from the other side. Like, don't bring your girlfriend, to meet your boyfriend's friends, saying like, "Oh, you guys would be perfect together."
Yeah.
Like, didn't you notice that like she doesn't really look like the girls he goes out with, or
they've only been together 8 months. Maybe she didn't really see any of it. You know,
maybe,
you
but
don't
like,
know, but or you could have just said like, I just don't think we should do this because like in case something happens,
right? Like,
you know,
just
no.
let it. Don't get in the middle of it.
Yeah.
Like, if it happens, it happens. But like,
But also, it's, I mean...
because you never
don't
know.
know.
Like, if something
He
could
could've liked her.
happen.
He
But
could've-
like, if she's gonna like, is she gonna come on too strong? Is it gonna be weird because she's thinking like she's getting set up, and this guy's
The
like,
girlfriend shouldn't have led the friend.
yeah, like he could have worded that a little bit
And
better.
he could have intervened sooner.
Yes.
A
So they're both
lot-
kind of the asshole here.
A lot of not the asshole votes.
Because he's trying to protect his friend and her friend,
And her
really.
friend, yeah.
Well, this one, so like the first couple that come up, everyone sucks here. I told my girlfriend I think she should not try to set them up together and to just leave it alone. And if something happens between them, great, but not to push it. When she asked why, I said, I just don't think they are a comparable match. And that is where you should have ended that final
Yeah.
stage.
Yes.
Yeah.
Everyone sucks here. No one should be setting anyone up. Your girlfriend needs to stop interfering. It's
Yeah.
not necessary for you to police who might find who attractive either.
Yeah. Agree.
But like, it's okay. So you're kind of thinking like, I don't think he's gonna go for her, which is fine.
Everyone sucks here. Your girlfriend shouldn't be trying to force a match, but you also don't have the right to decide if Sue isn't good enough for your friend.
He could just ask his friend, "Hey, look, this is Sue."
Also,
Right.
not to be this guy in 2025, 29-year-old male, you sound kind of gay for your friend. Like,
Well,
my friend is a lawyer who's 6'2" and he's super fucking hot.
Yeah.
And my girlfriend's friend is fugly and she's fat and I just don't see it.
it's
And then I told my girlfriend, I don't think you should do it. When she was like, why? I'm like, well, they don't look the same. And then also,
That's so
personality-wise, he's so hot. And she's so frumpy.
it's like, again, that's not a personality. You could say, I don't think that their personalities are compatible, but like, again, you should
That's my
have.
favorite part of this
You
whole
should have
one.
ended your sentence just right there. You just a little too far. So you're kind of asshole-ish, but your girlfriend kind of started it.
Asshole adjacent.
She kind of made you
Yeah.
be the asshole.
Yeah. She shouldn't.
Yeah, everyone sucks here.
We're so hard. Like, she could have said, like,
She shouldn't get Sue's hopes up.
yeah, like, she could have just said, oh, you know, he's got this hot friend, Mike. Like, he could be fun to hang out with for the
Yeah,
weekend.
try
or
at it.
the whatever they were doing.
Shoot your shot.
Like, and just leave it there. Like, kind of like, oh, he'll be fun to hang out with. The end. Like, not, oh, I think you two should get married. Like, just,
So here's another one. Am I the asshole for removing a crying 8-year-old that is not getting her way from the game table? I have 3 grandkids, ages 3, 8, and 10, that
this
recently
is a grandma trying to get
Or grandpa.
that recently visited. They are all great kids that are very well adjusted and generally well behaved, but the bossy temperament and a manipulative streak.
Ooh.
And she's a girl.
The 8-year-old will start crying if she does not get her way, and her parents' technique is to reason with her. I asked the child if she would give me a hand in the kitchen, for which she replied, "No, I don't think so." I said nothing and moved on to the other kids and asked them. The help I was requesting was to taste the whipped cream I had just made. When she realized that I wanted a taste test, now she was all for helping. However, I told her I asked someone else to lick the spoon since she had said no, which of course she blew up with one of her little tantrums. Apparently I was being cruel for treating her that way, and she was instantly coddled by her mother. Number 1. More than one person can lick the spoon.
Yeah. Agree.
Well,
Weird to draw a hard
And you
line of
didn't
like,
tell
you
her-
told me no.
Yeah, and you didn't tell her what the task was.
but is this a kid where you have to, like, draw a hard and fast line?
I don't
like,
know.
I asked you to do something and you said no.
Well, and
so you missed out.
It gets different. But like that first example was a weird example because like
Did you already get this kid riled up?
more than one kid can lick the spoon.
It's like, oh, now you want to help?
Like, the second incident was after dinner when I was in the midst of cutting the cake. The child pointed to one to lay claim on it. Her father stated that the slices were too big and to cut them in half. The child instantly started crying and said that she did not want hers cut in half and cried more when I started to cut. I said, "Why are you crying? You can always have another piece." That was when her mother entered the scene and stated that she was crying for the way I was talking to her, as it made her stress out. This
The
girl-
mother is clearly a
Yeah,
daughter-in-law.
is
This bitch is 8 years old.
Is the mom the asshole in this situation?
No.
I was hoping my son would stick up
It's
for
the grandma.
me
But, like, I
and
think it's
tell
the
her
mom.
and tell her what actually happened. The next incident was when she and her sibling were about to play a game of chess and both wanted to be white. And of course, she started crying over this. Instead of them continuing to argue, I stepped in and stated that in all games of chess, we decide on who gets white by placing a piece of each color in our hands and selecting a hand. And whatever color you choose is the color you play. Well, she goes along with this, but selected the hand with the black piece, and she started crying louder. At which point, I gently lifted her off the chair and gently placed her on the ground and calmly stated that she really did not want to play and to let someone else get a chance to play. The reaction from her mother was a total meltdown. She acted as if I roughly picked the kid up and violently slammed her to the ground. She was going on about how I had no right to discipline her child or for me to tell them how to discipline her children. She was actually yelling at me in front of the other kids and told them they would no longer visit. They would never visit again because of the way I treated that particular child. My wife and I were both dumbfounded by her reaction,
Grandpa.
and I wondered if some type of underlying psychiatric issue unknown to us that just unraveled. It really was that bad. So, is Grandpa the evil asshole?
No.
Also, this person spells it with no D, like your mom does.
Is that like a thing? I don't know. I feel like no, because he's just trying to, like, that is how you, or one way that you can, okay, if you're going to behave this way, you really don't want to play, so I'm going to remove you from the situation so that you can come down and you can come back. But, like...
He clearly has an issue with his daughter-in-law.
I mean, the other two, so he replied to a comment. The other two do not have anger issues and are more laid back. All three are in fact a joy to be around, but this middle one has the issue and spoils whatever moment it happens.
It's an 8-year-old. I mean, that's my thing, is we're trying to talk to an 8-year-old.
It's also a middle child.
But, like...
And what's that? What is that? Where are you going with that?
It's usually the youngest one that...
No.
In 3. Yeah, the middle one is the docile one. It's the middle one's the peacemaker. Because the oldest...
I've heard otherwise.
Because they're the one that gets ignored. So
that's what I've heard. The middle one is the one really striving for the attention.
No, it's the youngest one.
Opposite.
It's the youngest one. The middle one stays like they have to keep the peace between the oldest one and the youngest one and everyone else.
And I
don't know, like, I don't know what the oldest one is doing. I know, like, the younger one is supposed to be the one that, like, just does whatever they want because by then everyone's like, whatever, we're done parenting.
Well, they both do too. I mean,
so like the oldest one,
and they're all
and they're the
too
oldest
on like the gaps in between
and like boy
the age
girl.
gaps, boy girl. I mean, it's all a dynamic, but yes.
But like he didn't really do anything wrong. No. I mean, the spoon thing was a bit.
There's just I don't know how he wants her to act.
But also, like, if she's just gonna sit there and cry, and like another kid wants to play chess, then yeah, you gotta go.
Yeah. Or just middle child syndrome. There it is.
Or just the mom is coddling her.
It probably started as middle child syndrome and was exacerbated by the mother. I was a middle child, and I 100% threw some tantrums if I didn't get my way. But my parents definitely nipped it in the bud, and by not giving me what I wanted if I screamed about it.
So I think that's what the grandfather was trying to do. Where it was like, I'm not going to give in to you. You're not winning here.
I was the cliche middle child that was literally forgotten about.
I mean... I don't know why people... I mean, I get that the mom thinks he's the asshole, but I think she's the problem.
I don't know if that's the way middle child syndrome normally works. I was a middle child, and it was like I didn't exist unless they wanted someone to blame or punish or do work, which was never deemed good enough. He doesn't answer, because the comments are asking, like, is the 8-year-old a girl and the other two are boys?
Oh.
Like, is that why the mom acts the way she does? Because it's the only daughter? And his response was...
Well, in the way... I don't know. I didn't like the way he described
all are her
the child
kids. I feel like she just got lucky with 2 good laid-back kids and got one whom likes to pull these stunts. So he didn't answer. And then everyone's like, that's not what we asked you.
Right.
Yeah.
Also, 3, 8, and 10. Of course your 3-year-old is laid back. It's a 3-year-old.
Oh, 3, 8, and 10.
Yeah.
3-year-olds aren't laid back.
With their grandparents, they are.
3, 8, and 10.
It's just a weird... It just sounds like a really unfortunate situation where, like, you're just... That's just a shitty situation. And you just...
I don't know. I think you just
You gotta do what you gotta do, but also, like... Those kids are gonna cry sometimes.
It doesn't matter.
You're just gonna have to deal with it.
It doesn't matter. I didn't like the way he talked about the child or the mom. Because I know you think the mom's the issue, but I don't know if the mom's the issue. This isn't isolated. So, like, she's not going to just act that way if he's doing this one time. You know,
No,
it
but
has to be...
it seems like the kid is acting like this all the time. And then the mom just swoops in like, no, she doesn't like the way you're talking to her. Okay, well, girl.
That was weird. That was the one weird thing to me. It's not the situation, it's the way you're speaking to her. It stresses her out.
Maybe she's expressed that before. She's 8.
She's an 8-year-old.
Yeah, Cliff can express a lot.
Nothing stresses an 8-year-old out.
But wouldn't they say it? Like, wouldn't they just say that? Because like kids don't really have a filter. So
I don't
like,
know if they would say
unless
that
like
to the person, you know, directly, especially
is
being
like,
grand.
is there a like does the kid have something else going on? Like, you know, they were having trouble at school, or like, you know, like a little developmental situation that you left out.
Yeah.
Like, it feels like we're missing something.
I feel like he's being a very generational grandfather. Like a bit.
Yeah.
It does feel that way.
Yeah. Like, and I thought that when I thought it was a grandma for 95% of the time.
Well, especially with like the baking.
It was very funny. When I first read it, I did think grandma. Then when it's like my wife and I'm like, oh, are these lesbians? Then it was like, it's grandpa. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know how you can be like, come do this thing with me, and then they say no, and then you're surprised when you say, oh, it's licking.
Yeah.
Where they're like, now they want to do it.
Well, yeah, that one.
Well,
but
the
also,
whole, like,
that seemed irrelevant to the rest of the story.
Well, and the whole, like,
Yeah.
she throws these tantrums, and the parents' first reaction is to reason with her.
Or-
like,
Well, I think that's...
Well, maybe. Does that work, though? You left out, is it effective or not
Yeah.
effective? Because if it's not, you should have said, like, which doesn't work. Or,
Yeah.
but I also didn't realize that,
Or
like,
typically
the
works. Or,
parent was there.
yeah.
no.
So, like, why didn't you just let the parent handle it then?
When the parent... He didn't seem to like how the parent was handling
Or,
because they're not handling
did you
it.
well, that whole, like, because there was that one thing about, like, I think it was with the, like, the way you're talking to her. And then the second sentence was, like, I thought my son would have stepped in and, like, gave her what actually happened, but he didn't. So it also sounds like
I think it's like...
he doesn't care for the daughter.
yeah, it's like the real issue here may be, like, a daughter-in-law, father-in-law
or
situation,
in-law,
and the
yeah,
kid
sure.
is,
Yeah.
like, exacerbating it, maybe.
Maybe.
Also, so, like, the other two are just, like, perfect angels, you have no problems?
Yeah.
That
My thing
seems
is,
doubtful.
I just don't believe it. Yeah.
That seems doubtful.
Because they have... Yeah.
Because, I mean, also, if, like, the one is throwing tantrums and getting any semblance of reward, you bet your ass those other two are going to be trying that, too.
Especially that 3-year-old. The 10-year-old, maybe not, but definitely the 3-year-old.
Because, like, monkey see, monkey do.
Exactly.
Like, oh, well, you did that, and I got what I wanted, so I'm going to do that. Or at least try it.
Yeah.
So-
give it a shot.
If that really is the case where it's just the middle one, then clearly something else is going on here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Or he's viewing it through a different lens. Because maybe
Or
she's the
he's-
only girl.
and he's just ignoring the fact that,
Yeah.
like, is she a little bit on the spectrum and you don't accept that as,
Yeah.
oh, you should just treat her like a normal child.
Well, and all... I don't know. Like, every child handles
Yeah.
things differently.
Right.
Like, even if they're in the same family. They all have their different...
Yeah, everyone has their own personality. But, like, are they doing something particular with her because of something that's going on? And he's like, you shouldn't do it like that.
Yeah.
And that's why he's doing whatever he's doing.
You shouldn't have gotten these kids vaccinated. This one is another funny one. Well, I thought it was funny.
So did the comments think he's an asshole?
Yeah, basically. Well, it was kind of all over the place.
Sort of like a more asshole
Well, no,
adjacent than that
There's
other
not
guy.
a lot of votes
Just like-
in this one. A lot of them are
It's
just...
just really not your place. Like, my thing is just
Yeah.
like, why do we care? Why are we... I don't know, you're the grandparent. Just let it be what it's going to be.
In a comment much further down, OP says the oldest is a boy and the youngest is a girl. So 2 girls and 1 boy.
Okay.
Wait, oldest is a girl, youngest is a boy.
No.
Oldest is a...
Boy, girl, girl.
Yeah, boy, girl, girl.
Okay, so
Well,
but especially
in 5
there.
years when
Especially there. If it's a 8-year-old girl and a 3-year-old girl, especially there, that 3-year-old is going to see her throwing tantrums.
Yeah,
and do
like
the
you would
exact
have
same
two.
thing.
But that's what I mean.
You're not going to be like, oh, that 3-year-old's super laid back, but her 8-year-old sister, what a little bitch. Like,
something else must be going on. Like, I feel like there's just a big hole in the story of, like
she has opinions and she's expressing them, and that we
Right.
don't like that, and
Right.
she's taking up space, and we don't like that, and you know she's advocating
It
for
does.
herself, and we don't like that.
It does seem, though, that it's a step above just that, like, because, like, okay, she's bossy. What child's not? But, like...
Would you call the 10-year-old boy?
I call
know
my
you-
two upstairs.
No, I know, but I'm saying like him. With,
Right.
You know, like that boy.
Are you...
could have.
Yes. Are there different
Where she's
standards
learned
here?
that from? Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I think there are.
or OP is an unreliable narrator. I am getting the vibes that OP is a little biased and the story may be exaggerated. I agree, the first red flag for me was calling an 8-year-old manipulative.
Yeah.
Children have feelings that may seem outsized to us, but that doesn't mean they're trying to manipulate us. I'm not suggesting the way to deal with crying is to give in to what the child wants, but they shouldn't be punished for expressing their emotion either.
But, like, the thing with the chess was that she wanted the white, but, like, who was she playing with? The other kid?
I don't remember.
Because, like, if she doesn't play, no. He, like, made it seem like there was a lot of kids when he was saying, like, give another kid a chance. Who?
Yeah. Who's trying to play chess?
I question
What 8-year-old's trying to
that was
play
kind of my thought too. Like, what,
Just messing around.
What waspy assholes are these? Very telling that both children wanted to be white. Neither one of those kids wanted to be the black pieces. What 8-year-old?
Are these also European?
What 8-year-old and possible 10-year-old
Oh,
are
we don't
playing
know.
chess for
But, like, we
fun?
don't know who else who were you playing with on the other side?
It didn't. Yeah, it didn't say. They just sound like waspy white people to me.
So he might have.
I question the very gently lifting up an 8-year-old child who is in the middle of throwing a tantrum. That's at least a 50-pound deadlift with an unwilling participant. OP was totally in the right up until physically removing the kid from the table. I think getting physical is a line that a grandparent shouldn't cross. If the kid is disrupting the chess game, take the board and the oldest and go
there you
somewhere
go.
else.
Yeah.
You could do that.
Yeah, 8-year-olds are big. I would hesitate to judge this post because I don't feel confident about what actually happened. Yeah.
Yeah, see, like, this is why these are so hard.
Yeah.
Because, like,
Well, this one's difficult because
there's so much going on.
He's painting it as if like the mom is
Well,
an
that's what
asshole.
I'm saying, like an evil daughter-in-law.
But the wording really comes across like you're not giving all the facts. There are some of these where it's clear like you're the asshole.
Or, like, did you just, you don't like her, and you're just trying to
and you usually,
validate that,
you usually
like...
know from the title. I saw that. That's what I was...
From the C-section?
Yeah, it was there. You usually know from the title whether they're the asshole or not. Because those are the ones that, like, the question is clearly like, no, you're an asshole, but you tried to word this question so it doesn't come across like you're an asshole.
like, he's just trying to vindicate himself against his
like, am I the
daughter-in-law.
asshole for telling my girlfriend that her friend is too ugly for my friend? Like, that's... You're an asshole. Like...
But a lot of people were sort of like,
when you got a little more background.
you're
Well,
getting there.
I think
we see your point.
people were saying that guy wasn't the asshole because he was like being honest.
Yes.
But ... And I'm like,
Right.
no, you're the asshole because of what you're giving in the details. Because you told your girlfriend that two of your friends don't link up personality wise because he's hot and she's not. Like, that's not what personality is.
Yeah.
No,
Like,
but
you're-
like he was put in a position where he had to do that. Like, what he said was way out of line.
But also, they're grown adults.
But the issue is...
They're correct in the comments that she should not be setting them up. But also, they're grown adults. You're almost 30 years old. If she gets her feelings hurt, she gets her feelings hurt.
But it's
Your
because...
friend is probably an asshole.
It's because of his girlfriend.
Super good looking, 6'2" lawyer. That guy's an asshole. I know without even meeting him, that guy's an asshole.
Not necessarily. I work at a law firm.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily. I mean, maybe. Depends on how many years he's been.
But three of those things together, that's an asshole.
But the
You have two of those
girlfriend-
three, maybe not. One of those three, probably not. But like,
But also
super attractive according to this guy.
That's subjective. So we don't know.
6'2", like.
But the girlfriend should not have been pumping her friend.
Yeah,
with,
I agree.
Like,
I
so
agree.
he had to be like, listen,
Everyone sucks here. That's what the consensus on
let's
that
not
one
get your
was.
friends'
Not the
hopes up.
friends.
Yeah, the friends.
Well, no, I think because it was the
Yeah.
post is
Girlfriend
about
and
the
boyfriend.
boyfriend and the girlfriend. So that was that was the point of like everyone sucks here. You and your girlfriend both suck.
Yeah. She should. You don't need. Yes. If it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen, and if it's not, it's not. But like, don't pump your friend up.
Here's another one I thought was funny, and if nothing else is funny, one of the last lines is funny to me. My girlfriend, female 21, and I, male 22, live together and take turns doing household chores. Oh, this one is, am I the asshole for hanging my girlfriend's underwear out to dry? This includes washing dishes, vacuuming, and doing laundry. The other day, my girlfriend was at work, and I decided to throw a load in the washer. I didn't have enough laundry to do a full one, so I added the clothes from the hamper. Our dryer isn't working, so when the cycle was done, I hung the stuff on the clothesline outside. It was a nice, windy day, so it was going to dry quick. Later, I heard my girlfriend's car pull in the driveway. I went downstairs to greet her, and as she was coming in, I saw that she had her laundry bundled in her arms. She looked upset and slammed the door behind her. I asked if something was wrong, and she said she was pissed that I hung her underwear out for everyone to see. I didn't really think about it, but most of the stuff from the basket were her socks and panties. She's a little conservative, so her undies are basically granny panties. Think white cotton Hanes. She chewed me out and said how embarrassed she was that all our neighbors now know what her undies look like. I told her that's not a big deal and that everyone already assumed she wore underwear.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
That is a safe assumption.
But she's been pissed at me for a couple of days. Am I the asshole?
No.
You've been the asshole if you let her underwear be wet and not,
Yeah.
I just love.
But like,
I told her it's not a big deal that everyone already assumed she wore underwear.
have you ever seen someone's clothes out on the line, even when it is underwear? And you're like, oh my god, look at those underwear. Like you just kind of laugh, like, ha, underwear hanging out on the line.
I'm not
And
paying
then-
attention.
Around here, you see it a lot because,
Oh, do
like,
you?
with
Yeah.
like people's like yards and stuff. And
Yeah.
there's a farmhouse. right
Also,
around the
like
corner
this
that
person
hangs
says, their
underwear out.
dryer is
Our neighbor
broken.
used
Right.
to.
So what are you gonna do with it?
I mean, I guess he could go find a laundromat, but like,
Or like,
it's not that big.
do
of a-
they have? Was there something wherever their washer dryer is that she like? What would she have done with it? Mm-hmm. Would she have hung it? Did they have like one of those drying racks?
You could have a drying rack, but
that
I mean,
maybe.
A couple of thoughts. I laughed out loud when I read your post. In a few years, she will probably think this is funny. At least I hope so.
she's the asshole.
If
Yeah.
this is the worst thing you do, then you are a keeper. Do you have any idea how many posts here are from women whose husbands wouldn't know dirty laundry if it bit them on their ass, let alone think to care of that chore? Who cares what kind of panties she wears? If one of your neighbors has the temerity to say anything, you can tell them to fuck right off. You are so not the asshole.
If one of your neighbors comes up to you and says like, "Oh, I saw your underwear," you call the cops. Like,
Sweet parachute. Like, what are you going to say to this woman?
like no one. She's also assuming that like everyone in the neighborhood is looking. No one cares.
No.
Yeah.
Like seeing wash hung out on the line.
One, like,
It's
she's kind of conservative. So she wears, like, granny panties. I feel like it would be a bigger...
Worse.
I think it'd be a bigger
Like a
deal if
lingerie.
it was just, like, thongs and, yeah, like...
Yeah.
I feel like that would have been... Like, that's what's going to get you the dirty looks from your neighbors. The dirty looks from your neighbors.
And that's what would like kind of stand out a little bit.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
like if you just saw like underwear with two little clips just flapping there in the wind, like okay, you might not even really notice that it's underwear. You like what did he have hung up? Shirts and stuff?
Yeah. I don't think it matters.
No. And like was it in your
I would rather my underwear be dry.
What is
Right.
this initial comment? Hold on a second here.
But like did you put it in your front yard or your backyard?
It
Because
doesn't
like how
really matter.
but like our backyard, like I'm thinking
Yeah.
of like our street. If it was hung out back, literally no one would see it.
Like maybe the two side neighbors.
Oh yeah,
Maybe.
but like,
Yeah.
I would think that your closest neighbors
So
know
this
you wear
person
underwear.
commented, She never was given the choice to decide where to hang them, LOL. I am a filthy, disgusting, promiscuous person, and I'd probably start crying if I saw all my underwear in public view of the world, blowing in the wind. It's embarrassing when you're a woman. I wouldn't even be worried about other men seeing. I'd be worried about other women seeing and judging me and taking pictures of it.
What?
Some girls even have period stains on some of their underwear and shit. So no, I don't think it has to do with purity culture. Laugh my fucking ass off.
I mean, she makes a point, but I don't know. I mean, it's still kind of like...
It's embarrassing when you're a woman. I'm also a woman, and I wouldn't care, and we're not a monolith. Taking pictures of it, that's unhinged behavior.
Yeah.
Where
do you live? Yeah.
Nobody's doing that.
Yeah. I don't know. If you walk by something and there's a piece of lawn, like, not the granny panties, but she's saying, the promiscuous. If it's like, or if they have, like, Bob Burger's underwear, you would take a picture of that.
Right.
If your undies are so period stained, you'd be embarrassed for them to be seen. It's time to retire.
They should be thrown out.
Right.
Well, no, but then they're used for your next period.
Well,
why?
Why dirty a new pair? Just ruin those old ones. Yeah. But like, okay, people are like reading way too much into that. He's not saying anything about the quality of this underwear. He's just saying that they're granny panties.
Yeah.
So we're just assuming they are just.
It's embarrassing when you're a woman. What part of being a woman makes this embarrassing?
Like men wear underwear too, and sometimes men's underwear looks the same as women's underwear.
They got track stains.
Right, like some men should be embarrassed.
Smelling straight.
And holes. Yeah. Like, what?
Oh, yes.
Like,
yeah.
I was trying to find, because I was seeing other...
That was an easy one.
Is she an only child? Because I feel like if you have siblings, you've seen...
Right.
Like, I've seen
like
they've seen mine on, it's
right,
not...
you've been in a household where, like, your clean underwear is public.
Because your laundry's getting done at the same time. Or, like, you're just
it's hung out, it's getting folded, it's hung to dry, wherever it is.
Yeah.
It's just weird.
Put it up.
I understand if she feels embarrassed or like a little bit embarrassed, but I don't see why you would be mad at him for a few days.
Yeah.
Dude, how nasty are your panties? Time for a trip to the Victoria's Secret semi-annual. Good Lord, is what that person said.
Should trip to Walmart to get the Hanes pack.
Yeah, right. Like, they sell at CVS. They sell emergency pre-washed underwear.
They sell
in a baggie.
underpants.
You can
do that.
Yeah.
I love how this is the first person I've seen to put underpants. They sell underpants in dark colors that won't stain: black, navy, wine red.
Thank you so much for that information. We had no idea. But
that's what I was trying to find.
Women have to wear top garments too, so they try to match. So if they have a white bra, they're going to try and have white.
What do you mean? Period
or like
stain?
You have lighter pants.
What woman doesn't have black undies for Shark Week? Is what this woman commented. And where are your mothers to not teach you how to remove blood stains completely from pretty much any fabric, any color?
Yeah, it's just
they're dead.
Stain remover. It's just stain remover. They're dead. Those mothers are dead. There's a lady on TikTok that does, like, in case your mom never taught you. Her name's Babs.
Oh, that's funny. There's a guy, too, who does, like, DIY. Like, he didn't have a dad, so he does, like...
Yeah.
Oh.
Where, like, things,
We'll end with...
Is he trans?
Yeah.
Oh, there's a trans handyman on TikTok.
Oh, okay.
Who, I didn't know, like, I don't know his parent situation, but he does, like... He teaches you how to fix things.
That reaction was not because...
It was just sort of unexpected.
This one's also funny. We'll end with this one. I think Kelly's going to have thoughts about this one.
Oh, no.
Kelly has thoughts on all of that.
That grandpa one was hard.
On New Year's this year, 2 days ago, we had biscuits and gravy for breakfast.
What's the headline?
Oh, sorry. Am I the asshole for lying to my husband?
That wasn't helpful.
On New Year's this year, 2 days ago,
let it slide.
We had biscuits and gravy for breakfast. My husband was telling me, there is one thing I have to point out in here, but we'll get to that. My husband was telling me he wanted me to be more firm with him about things he procrastinates about.
Okay.
Today I made biscuits and pulled in the leftover gravy. He then got on to me about how I know he doesn't like leftovers and he'll just make something else. Then he proceeded to ask Alexa how long gravy is good for, and she says 2 to 3 days depending. So he goes, see, even she says it's bad. So I tell him I'll make new gravy, but I didn't. I reheated the old gravy. So once finished, he dug through the trash to see if the gravy was in there and yelled at me for lying to him. This is one of those things he procrastinates about. I don't think you know what that word means.
Yeah.
What?
He says all the time he needs to get better about eating leftovers. Procrastinates is not what that is.
Yeah.
Well,
He's not procrastinating.
Well, I get, like, he's procrastinating in that he doesn't eat the leftovers fast enough. So, like, oh, I should just eat it the next day, and I'm not. But that's not... That's more of a habit
But his whole thing is, I don't like leftovers. So to me, that screams like you have to eat it that day or it's trash. Like, you're not reheating anything.
This is like a habit. He's trying to get a different habit.
But that's not procrastinating.
No, it's not.
I also work in food and am food safety certified at the manager level for my state. So I know proper storage, safety, and definitely if food is good or not. I realize I shouldn't have lied, but then I'm wasting food and doing extra work and not doing what he asked me in the first place. Am I the asshole?
Nah. Fuck that guy.
Nah. And, like, why does she need to be responsible for being more firm with him about why he's procrastinating?
Do your own goddamn work.
Figure it out yourself. Why do we have to...
Just toss one more thing on your wife. Oh,
Yeah.
can you make new gravy? And can you make sure I keep my New Year's
Well,
resolution?
he didn't ask her. He didn't ask her to make new gravy.
That's true.
He said, you
wasn't
know
gonna-
I don't like old gravy. I'll make something else. And then she volunteered to make new gravy.
That might be her only...
To which she just reheated the old gravy and said, oh, this is brand new gravy.
But
Said that.
Yeah.
I knew Kelly was going to have
I support that.
big
I
feelings
do.
about this
I do
one.
too. Good for you.
You
As long
lied.
as she doesn't believe it's actually, not good.
Right, like,
I don't care.
She's trustworthy in that she's food safety certified.
At
so
a manager level.
So she would know.
She would know. At a manager
Stop being so
level.
bougie. Just eat your fucking leftovers.
You lied and he's checking the trash. Y'all got issues. Everyone sucks here. Checking the trash is such strange behavior that it makes me question if OP has lied similarly in the past. Agreed. He's not wrong for checking the trash if he was right. OP should not have lied. OP is the asshole. I don't agree with that one, but
No.
I would have done... Everybody has issues. I would have done the same thing with the gravy as whatever.
It is a little sus that he did immediately have to go check the trash. Like, is he OCD?
Well, did he have to, or like was he going to throw other stuff away and then like
Yeah,
looked
he
in the
looked in
trash?
the trash.
Like she says, like he rooted around in the trash. Like did he go out in the kitchen and like dump the shit on the floor? Like there's no gravy.
Well, you could probably find out pretty quickly.
I would be like, well, I dumped the gravy down the drain.
Ew.
Well, that wouldn't have been good.
No.
That would have clogged.
Yeah.
Oh, well, he
Shame
doesn't
on
know
you.
that. I flushed it
Gave
down
it to the dog.
I flushed it down the toilet.
Everyone sucks here. You're both being immature. Also, I don't think you know what procrastination is.
There we go. Okay, at least somebody else.
Trying to wrap my head around that part too. She didn't reply to that, which is upsetting. I wish she would have.
Yeah.
I was thinking like he procrastinates eating leftovers, which is still a wild way to put it, but like okay.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. But, like, why would he ask his wife to help him with that? And also, then why would he say, like, I just don't like leftovers?
Yeah.
It's like, do you want to eat them or you don't?
You know when you say to yourself, I know I should gravy today, but I'll just gravy tomorrow. That's what that person says. I'm more concerned about gravy and biscuits, assuming this is an American thing and UK biscuits are different. Yes, it's an American thing, specifically a Southern food culture thing.
Yeah, I think, like, biscuits and gravy, it's like that gravy with chunks of something
Sausage.
Sausage, yeah.
in it. I don't like
And the
that.
gravy is a white gravy, usually with sausage in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. My mom likes it.
I was trying to see if there's any other good
I don't know.
comments.
It's like the consistency thing for me.
Yeah, I can't do that. I can't do, like, cream chip beef.
Yeah. No, that's like the
No.
same. It's just, isn't it? It's like the same white gravy, it just has beef
Yeah, I think it's similar.
shaved in
Yeah.
there. Ugh. Nah.
Can't do scrapple.
Oh, I'll eat scrapple.
Can't do it.
But it's,
You can do pork roll.
because it's like mushy.
Info. I'm
I don't like
confused.
sausage either.
how it would have
I
been
love
extra work for you.
Chicken sausage.
He said he'd make something else for himself. Why didn't you just eat your leftovers and let him make something else?
She doesn't want the food to go to waste.
Right, she's trying because she's trying to prove a point.
That's not really procrastinating. That's being an asshole. Now, he said he would make something for himself. Instead, he never did. That is procrastinating. When there is no food on the table, remind him how you do not like food waste with food that is not out of date, so you will continue to use leftovers. That's on you. Then explain that you do not expect insults from him when you do it. If he does not want to eat it, he does not have to, but that's all you're making. Geez, it is like dealing with a toddler.
Yeah, like this is a grown man.
If the grandfather from the previous, he would, if that was the girl, he would say, you know, that she's being a bit.
Yeah, she's being too much.
What is going on?
Manipulative.
If your husband doesn't want the gravy, let him make his own, period. And he goes through the trash for a gotcha. I hope that you both have other aspects of your relationship that you are kind and loving. This dynamic around food is not healthy, and you need to work it out with mutual respect and understanding.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think it's that deep.
No.
I think she's just trying to make a point.
Yeah, well, I feel like...
You have issues in your relationship that are well above Reddit's pay grade, is what that
I feel like she used the wrong word, procrastinate, so now we're missing, like, a piece... Or, like, it got a little confusing.
Or,
what
her point is losing some value because...
Yes, you're the asshole. Lying to him and serving him something he didn't want is petty, gross behavior. Preach.
I'll serve you what I want to serve you. If you want something else, you can go to the grocery store. This is not 1950. Hate to break it to you. I don't give a shit what you want. I will ask you when I do the grocery shopping, and then if you have changed your mind since then, well, that's not my problem. That sounds like a you problem.
A lot of people are putting, like, you're the asshole because him going through the trash and the way you've presented this feels like you lie often, and he had reason to go through the trash.
I think the going through the trash thing is being overblown.
Yes. People are really
He went to throw out something and didn't see it in the trash. But.
Or that they're harping on it being like...
What's weird to me is she doesn't...
he went there...
This has what most Reddit stories don't have.
Another lie.
Oh, no. I don't know. Like, it's not worded right. Because, like... He asks Alexa whatever, so I tell him I'll make new gravy, but I didn't. I reheated the old gravy. So once finished, he dug through the trash to see if the gravy was in there and yelled at me for lying to him. So did she reheat the gravy and then he ate it and then went through the trash? Yeah. Or does she mean when finished? So, like, she finished reheating it, brought it out to the table.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then he was like, bitch, no you didn't, and, like, went through the trash.
Oh.
Like, there's a detail missing there. Because if he ate it, that's on you, bro. You're so anal about leftovers, but then you couldn't tell these were leftovers. Like, that's the way I initially read it, but then reading comments where it's like, going through the trash is petty because blah, 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 and then, like, a lot of people were like, gravy's super fucking cheap to make. Just let him make that shit himself. When he doesn't want to, fuck him. Like, why are y'all getting in a fight over gravy? And then I thought, like, did he eat it?
For her sake, I hope he did. And then she was just like, yeah.
Because that's what it is. That is what it is. That's what the story should have been. But I reheated the gravy and then he got mad about it after he ate all of it.
But I don't know, like... Is it that she lies all the time, or is it that he's, like, super untrusting?
Well, that's what a lot of the comments are saying, like, everyone sucks here. Because the vibes that whole post gives off are strange. Like, you're presenting this one story, but, like... I don't know.
Right, like, with no context, no, you're not the asshole. He should just eat it and deal with it.
Because I don't know that, like,
if we saw a little more,
from Jump Street, if, like, you and I have the relationship we have... If you made gravy, just for the sake of argument, in the morning for, like, biscuits, and I was like, oh, I don't like leftover gravy. If you told me I'm going to make new gravy, and then just gave me the leftover gravy, I don't think my first thought would be like, that bitch didn't make gravy.
Yeah.
So that's why my whole thing is like, this feels like a not an isolated incident. Because my initial thought would not be like, I gotta go through that trash, because I know she didn't make new gravy.
Do you think it's that because she lies a lot, or do you think it's he does this to her a lot and is proven wrong?
Yeah, like, I could see that.
Like, he's so distrusting that, like, she says something and he's always, like, checking up on to see if it's accurate.
Yeah.
Because it could go both ways.
Well, and the whole procrastinating thing is also strange.
That's what I mean. There's we missed a word.
A real monkey wrench in that story of, like, I don't understand what the point of this is. Because no part of this has anything to do with procrastination. Yeah. So either you left an element out,
or it's the wrong word.
Or you genuinely think, like, he's procrastinating on those leftovers. Because, like, that doesn't make any sense.
No.
Oh, goodness.
That poor lady. I mean, and maybe poor guy. We don't know. Yeah. It feels like poor lady.
I'm about to say, the comments got to you because you were really like, fuck that guy.
No, I think that...
Fuck him, fuck biscuits.
But then I wonder...
Fuck gravy.
I would like to think that it's just him constantly undermining her.
Yeah. Or just doing this constantly.
Yeah, like where she says something and he has to try to prove her wrong. Or, like, catch her in a lie.
Did it say how old they were?
No, I don't think so.
Well, I feel like it did. I'm gonna look quick. Because part of me is also thinking, like... Or no, I'm thinking of the underwear one. Because they were in there.
They were
21,
early
22.
20s.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one I don't think.
Shit. At 21.
Because she's a conservative 21-year-old.
But people were saying, like, this has nothing to do with, like, purity culture. Like,
well, he didn't say it did. He just said that she's a more conservative woman.
And she wears granny pants.
She is 21.
But then, like, wouldn't you be proud about them? Everyone wears underwear.
Well, he assumed. That's my favorite part
everyone
of that whole story. I told her it's not a big deal because everyone assumed that you wore underwear. Yeah, it does not give an age on this one. Because in my mind, I was thinking, like, if you're young, like, this isn't always the answer, but, like, if the two of you are young, just break up. Like, what the fuck is your relationship? Like,
well, but...
If he's already digging through trash to prove, like, you didn't make that gravy...
I think...
And at least it's presented here, like, if I did it, I wouldn't be doing it. I wouldn't, like, bring the trash out and dump it out and scream at you. Like, I would look at that trash can and then, like, come up to you and be like, I know you didn't fucking make that gravy. Like, I'd give you, like, some Goodfellas shit where I, like, whisper in your ear, like, I know you didn't make new gravy.
I know you did. If they're young, it's definitely a situation where he's doing this all the time. Yeah. He's constantly trying to catch her in a lie.
Yeah.
If they're older, I think it could lean more in the... She pulls these over on him a lot, and now he starts to, like, check in on her.
It's hard to know. I also need, like... My other issue with Reddit is that it's just words.
Or it could have just been
like,
too little of a time period for her to have made new gravy.
That was kind of my thought, too. Was in his mind, he's like, gravy doesn't go that fast.
You didn't make that gravy again.
But the fact that he then yelled.
I don't think it's worth
it. But also, he yelled at me. Not saying he didn't, but, like, what's yelling at you?
Yeah.
Like, was he in your face screaming at you? Like,
but I think
that you didn't make him new gravy.
Just him reacting at all, I guess.
Yeah,
because
I think like the most would be like, really,
what the heck?
Yeah,
like I would have just made something myself.
Right, like I didn't want to eat this whole gravy.
That's my issue.
But like, did it taste fine? Then shut up.
That's my issue with Reddit is like it's all just text. Like you don't have video of him yelling. I need pictures of that attorney and the fugly friend to really make a decision for myself on whether or not he's the asshole.
No, that shouldn't matter. That makes you the asshole. That shouldn't matter. Why does that matter?
It's not relevant. We're just wondering.
That is more what it is. I don't need to know, like, oh, I'm not going to look at the pictures and be like, oh, yeah, she is ugly. You're definitely not the asshole. Like, good for you.
You just said you had to see the pictures.
No, it's more out of curiosity.
It is more, it's not as much determining I'm just more curious now, especially because, like I said,
the conservative underwear. Can we get a picture of
Can we get a picture of granny panties?
No.
Stained.
The comments made it very clear that the pictures are too far. They're a bridge too far.
Oh, right. If we take pictures of it.
Because people were taking pictures of it. And
but
that's
no,
gross.
I just want to see.
You're the asshole because you hung those underwear out.
Underwear.
I want to see a far out photo of your house and where this line is compared to where the other houses are.
That's more my thought. I need to
know. That matters.
But it would matter only in that. I still don't think he's the asshole. No. Ever. But like in terms of her embarrassment, is this a single family home with like no house real close to it?
Yeah, it's not.
Or is there lots of houses?
I'm not going to see these pictures and change my mind. But it made me very curious as to like what's your living situation?
Yeah, how many people are seeing them?
Are you in an apartment? Are you in like a development? Are you in a house? Because I can't imagine at 21 and 22 or whatever that you're in a house.
In the South, they could be.
In 2024?
You could be renting. You can rent houses.
Yeah, you could rent. But that's more what I'm wondering.
They could live with someone else too.
I was more curious. Like, what is your arrangement here?
Because, like, if your underwear's hanging out on your...
And that was the same thing with that...
apartment balcony.
With the ugly girlfriend thing. Like, I'm more curious what these people look like.
She's not conventional.
Well, he said she was ugly.
Yeah, well, yeah.
No, she's not conventionally attractive.
Yeah, but his initial post was, am I the asshole for telling my girlfriend her friend is too ugly for my friend?
What is even... I guess what blonde...
Is my friend... His post said, the title was, am I the asshole for telling my girlfriend
that overweight?
Her friend is too ugly for the friend that I'm gay for? Because he is so gay for that guy, it's not even funny. All he did was gush about how attractive that man was in a Reddit post. He could be, which is totally fine. I have no problem with it.
He's just realizing it.
I have no problem with it. But that post to me was like, you're using this Reddit post to tell people how attracted you are to your friend.
Well, as he was writing it, he was realizing.
Because you really harp on how physically attractive this man is and how unconventionally attractive she is.
But, I mean, maybe that's what he needs.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I was just very curious. Like, what do these people look like? Put the pictures up. You can blur their faces out. Just put the pictures up.
Yeah, but then I won't know if they're conventionally attractive or not. I gotta be honest.
But you can't know their identity.
You could definitely can't.
Because, like Dana said, what is overweight? How tall? He didn't give how tall the woman was.
He didn't give any facts about the
woman. All he gave was she's overweight and unconventionally attractive. But he gave us 6'2", attorney, super jacked.
What does she do?
Yeah, what does she do?
Like, she could be Shrek for all we know. You didn't give us any other details. Like,
yeah, you really painted her.
Is she a janitor? Is she a CEO? Like, you gave no description to her.
Right, because they could
other than she's some fugly girl.
Some frumpy lady that could not possibly.
She's a more homely woman.
Cannot snag.
She's a more homely woman that's friends with your girlfriend.
For all we know, like, they could have a lot more in common because they both have, like, high
She could also be an attorney.
Sure.
It's possible.
You never know. I've seen some frumpy attorneys. John Morgan.
So have I. No, he's far from frumpy.
What?
He wears, like, Armani suits. He's not frumpy.
No one's talking about what he's wearing.
What he looks like?
Yeah.
Well, he just looks like a
generic old white guy.
Yeah. He's John Morgan.
His personality makes him frumpy. Yeah, his cultural appropriation on those billboards is what makes him frumpy.
Couldn't believe it. I was like, how dare you?
I don't know.
You're from Minnesota.
He had one.
John.
So he had one in Philly. He had one in Philly.
J-A-W-A.
That says, I'm John Morgan. He has a bunch of them as him dressed up as a Philadelphia Philly. Because they're like an official part of the Phillies. I think there's one of him in like a Sixers uniform. Clearly photoshopped body into a Sixers uniform. When I was in Texas to see Jeremy, there were Morgan & Morgan billboards of him as Santa that said Feliz Navidad. And I'm like, I know your Christmas billboard in Pennsylvania does not say Feliz Navidad.
Yeah, like, why?
This feels racist.
You're just coming into a neighborhood like, what do y'all say around here? What words you using? Yeah. And then I'm going to put it on my billboard.
And then you come into a whole state, you're like, Hablo Espanol.
It's like...
Me llamo John Morgan.
Doubtful.
I'm not licensed in your state.
I think they are from Missouri.
I went to Texas.
Yeah, but I think originally they are from Missouri.
Probably.
I don't know why I think that.
Like those divorce attorneys on MMR.
It's so weird. Like, I never really realized.
Missouri or Illinois, I'm not licensed in your state.
That, like, Morgan & Morgan, a huge, like, Philadelphia law firm, is not from here.
Yeah.
Well, they're a huge law firm everywhere.
But, right, like, I don't ever think about firms being outside, like, the area that they're in. Like, Philadelphia, New Jersey, New York. That makes sense.
Who was the guy that stole their font and color? We saw it at your office Christmas party.
Was it Rand Spirit? No.
I forget who it was.
Top Dog Law.
No, his or...
Oh, man. Is it the inflatable phone?
No.
Is that Top Dog?
That's Top Dog. The inflatable phone in the bag with the dollar sign
Like,
on it.
what? Who? Did you just go to Party City and get, like...
Oh, R.I.P.
Money props.
R.I.P.
And then...
How dare you bring up Party City
inflatable money
on this
props.
podcast.
And then you just went to JCPenney and got some photos taken with a
Also,
white
R.I.P.
background.
JCPenney.
They're still around.
Where?
I don't know where. I don't even know where a mall is anymore.
You're thinking of Macy's.
Macy's R.I.P.
No.
They closed, like, all their stores. There's one around here.
Oh, no, that's a Boscov's.
How dare you don't talk about Boscov's.
That's a Boscov's at the Coventry Mall. I was thinking Macy's.
R.I.P. Coventry Mall.
And then I was going to make a joke about the Titanic, but...
Nice try.
Because the Macy's were there. The Macy's were there. That wasn't their name. They just owned Macy's. The guy from Miracle on 34th Street was on the Titanic.
Yes. Santa.
Next to Milton Hershey.
Santa. No, he wasn't there. We almost didn't have Hershey bars. Milton Hershey was supposed to be on the Titanic.
Yes. This is a fact we know.
His wife took ill. Oh. I don't think that's why they didn't go. Something about a business meeting, so. But his wife was sick while they were... She's taken to the bed.
Just hearing someone so earnestly in 2025 say his wife took ill.
No, because it was 1914. That's how he would have said it. My wife was taken to the bed.
But then you're recounting the story. Instead of his wife got sick, so we didn't get on the boat. His wife took ill.
Yeah. She was sick. But I think we still would have had Hershey bars.
Didn't he also just like want to stay longer? I'm pretty sure it wasn't a matter of her being sick. He didn't give a fuck about her being sick.
But she like
it was the 1950s. He didn't give a fuck about her being sick.
It was 1914.
Yeah.
I definitely thought you said 50s just then.
It was 1914.
I'm aware, but I thought in your last thing you said 50s, which I thought was incorrect, but I wasn't going to correct you.
She said a while ago that it was not the 1950s
I thought she
when
said 50s.
About the food situation.
Yeah, right, where you eat what I make you, and you shut up about
or
it.
You make
you
it.
get what you get, and you don't get upset.
Although I think that was also very 1950s. It's just the housewives would have been like, whatever you want.
Well, that was 1950s for your kids.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. And now it's reversed.
We don't make new...
You tell your husbands that in 2025 and you give your kids whatever they want. And then grandpa has to remove them from the chess table.
Yeah. Because 8-year-olds are playing a lot of chess.
Hey, if you're waspy and white, what else are you doing?
But, like, do people even play chess anymore?
Xavier.
One of Ashley's sons plays chess.
Really? Is it, like, making a comeback?
I'd love to play chess. I can't remember.
I think it's chess.
At
Not
school?
checker. It's chess or checker.
just at home?
He has it, like, I think he's in a club, too.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, well,
but
that
yeah,
makes sense.
he does it at home. Like, that's where he was doing it at first.
I'm mad I don't have it. I used to have one of those boards that the pieces at the bottom had how you can move them.
Oh, yeah, like the learner's
It was
board.
like to teach you how to play chess.
I think Xavier has one like
and
that.
we got rid of it, and I'm mad about it.
I know most of them. A horse can make the 7.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. He would probably beat me if I played him.
I'm not good at it. I just know where the pieces can go. That's it.
Yeah.
All right, folks. Well, that's all for our first episode of 2025. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for watching, listening. Like and subscribe on YouTube. Subscribe wherever you're listening to the podcast. If you're listening to the podcast, make sure you have automatic downloads turned on. Rate, review, comment, tell your friends, your neighbors, your enemies, whoever you feel like. If you're one of those people that has like an Instagram account for your dog, make sure that your dog follows us on Instagram while you also follow us on Instagram. We have Instagram and TikTok, and that's about it. Oh, and Threads, but
No one uses Threads.
Well, the Instagram automatically shares to Threads, so you're just
That's
getting
why
the
people
same.
are still using it because it's
You're
just
just getting the same Instagram
everything's
stuff.
going there.
Well, everyone's going there from X. Well, no, they're going to Blue Sky, which I don't know what that is, but
I don't either, and I'm not getting in it. I didn't do Threads, and I'm not doing any more.
I signed up for Threads. It's all the Facebook. It's all this account. I have an account for my personal one, but I don't ever use it. I just use the podcast account.
I didn't like it, so it was a weird setup. I wasn't a big fan of Twitter either.
I don't like. From what I remember because I didn't use Twitter a whole lot. From what I remember with Twitter, though, your feed was people you followed.
Yes. Yeah.
Threads is like everyone. It's like a mixture of people I follow and a mixture of people like almost like Facebook's dumb suggested for you bullshit. Where I'm like, I don't know who these fucking people are.
But it was more suggested for me than it was like people that
because you didn't follow people yet.
But
of course your feed is more people you don't know because you didn't follow people on Threads yet. Once you get a following of people...
Oh, I didn't know. I wasn't getting that deep.
Once you start following, I mean, not once you get followers.
Didn't
once
it have all my
people.
Instagram... I think it was...
No, that's not how it works.
Oh.
I
don't know. I did follow a few.
I got a TikTok the other day. It's not Blue Sky. It's a third one that apparently is linked to TikTok. So when TikTok is fully banned, then you can't have it anymore. Like, this is the weird backup thing. Oh. And apparently when you sign up for it, it just takes all your followers and shit that are signed up for this app, and it just it all transfers over. I'm like, I don't fucking know. I don't do enough on there to give a shit.
No.
But yeah, do all that stuff. Tell your friends, tell your family. Thank you for joining us. We will see you all next week. Yeah. That's all I got. We love you, and as always, thank you for being a friend.